Hello and welcome back to the course on applied thermodynamics. In today's lecture, we'll continue our study on vapor power cycles. In the previous class, we looked at the layout of steam power plant, and then we looked at the construction of saturation dome, and we also identified various regions which are associated with TV plot and PV plot. In today's lecture, we are going to look at how to use the steam tables so that we can find the properties of the working fluid across various points in the steam power plant. With these properties, one can find out performance parameters. Now let us continue. Let us now look at the various components of a steam power plant. So we have four components here. The first one is the work developing device, that is the turbine through which we extract the shaft work, followed by an heat exchanger where we have a condenser here where heat is rejected, and then we have a work absorbing device, that is a pump, followed by steam generator, which is a boiler here. So we saw that across the components, the working fluid, as it flows, it will go through change in its phase, and we also see that one can find out the properties of the working fluid across various cross sections. So we have here as cross section 1, then we have section 2, then we have section 3 and 4. So one can find out the specific volume of the fluid, the enthalpy of the fluid, the entropy of the fluid, like that across the various sections in the power plant. Schematic. This is a schematic view which is representing the important components of a steam power plant. The working fluid that we are using here is the water, and the water is generated to steam, which is water is converted to steam basically, and then we see that the working fluid, that is steam, goes through various change in processes across the components. Now let us look at the Rankine cycle. So in the last class we have seen that Rankine cycle is the suitable ideal cycle which represents the steam power plant, and we saw that there are various processes. There is a reversible adiabatic expansion process from 1 to 2, and 2 to 3 is the reversible and constant pressure heat rejection process, and process 3 to 4 is the reversible adiabatic compression process, and then the last process is from process 4 to 1, which is the reversible and constant pressure heat addition process. And by applying steady flow energy equations for the four components which we just saw, one can develop energy equations as shown here, work terms, and then we have heat terms. We substitute that into the thermal efficiency equation, and then we arrive at the following thermal efficiency. When we neglect the pump work, then the equations reduces to the following form. Now let us continue our study here. So we were looking at two important plots. One is the TV plot, temperature versus specific volume, and we can see we have a saturation dome, and then we have identified that the apex of this saturation dome is called as a critical point, where we have a critical temperature on the y-axis, and then we drop a perpendicular to the x-axis, then one can have critical volume here, specific volume. Likewise, the corresponding pressure also becomes the critical pressure. So for water, we have seen it is 343 degrees Celsius, and pressure as 22.07 megapascal, and specific volume as 0.003 meter cube per kg. And we also saw that The left side of the dome, saturation dome, is called as subcooled liquid region when if it is y-axis is temperature, and then the region inside the saturation dome is called as a two-phase mixture region, or sometimes it is also called as mixture region, or sometimes it is also called as vapor steam region. And then the right side of the dome, we call this as a saturated vapor region. Moving further, when we plot PV curve, then we see that the saturation dome, and we have a critical point here. The left side of the saturation dome is called as a compressed liquid region, and the area within the region is called as a wet steam region or two-phase mixture region, and the right side of the saturation dome is called superheated vapor region. So the basic difference between the TV plot and the PV plot is the left side of the saturation dome. In case of TV plot, it is subcooled region. In case of PV plot, it is compressed liquid region. So these are something which we have seen, and in case if the system is lying in the two-phase region, then we have one more parameter called as a dryness fraction, which is defined as a mass of vapor to the total mass. Now to find the state or condition of a system, we have the following guidelines based upon the given temperature and pressure, how to find out in which region the system is existing. To know that, we apply the following guidelines to find out. So if given temperature is greater than the saturation temperature, please recall that saturation temperature corresponds to the boiling point of the working fluid. So if given temperature is greater than the saturation temperature, then that region will be superheated region. If given temperature is less than the saturation temperature, then that particular region will be subcooled liquid region. Likewise, in terms of pressures, so here we have a TV plot, and when we extend the line from the saturation point, then we get the corresponding point on the y-axis as saturation temperature. So this becomes a saturation temperature. So we have a saturation temperature. Likewise, if given pressure is greater than the saturation pressure, then the particular region will be the compressed liquid region. Likewise, if the given pressure is less than the saturation pressure, then the system will be existing in superheated vapor region. So if suppose if dryness fraction is defined, or if it is given to us in the problem, then one can say that it is directly in two-phase mixture region. So we see if it is a PV plot, considering the second guideline, when we extend the line and cut the y-axis, then what we get a corresponding point will be the saturation pressure. So we have a saturation pressure here. So on a TV plot, the corresponding point along the saturation line, we get a saturation temperature. So these are some of the guidelines through which one can determine in which state or condition the system is lying, in which state or condition the system is lying. Now let us move further. Now let us look at the various properties of the working fluid on a TV plot and TS plot. So here we have a TV plot, and when we extend the line along the saturation point, then we get the saturation temperature. Similarly, when we drop a line at the saturation point towards the x-axis, then please recall that this is a saturated liquid curve, one half of this dome, and the corresponding point is called as VF, saturated liquid specific volume. Similarly, the next half of the dome is called a saturated vapor curve, or it is called as a dry saturated curve. So at this point where it is a dry saturated, when we drop a vertical perpendicular line and cutting the x-axis, then we have VG corresponding to gaseous phase, specific volume corresponding to gaseous state. So here it is completely dry, that means all the liquid that was present with the addition of heat as it absorbs the latent heat of vaporization, all the liquid gets converted into vapor at this point. Therefore this is a dry saturated point at this point, whereas this point is called as saturated liquid point. So all the data that is extracted at this saturated liquid point is called as saturated liquid data. Similarly, all the data points which are extracted at a dry saturated conditions are called as saturated dry data. So now looking at TS diagram, temperature versus entropy diagram. So when we again when we extend the saturated point on the y-axis, what we have here is saturation temperature, and then this vertical line or perpendicular line cutting the x-axis, what we get here is a SF entropy at saturated liquid point. Similarly, at a dry saturated condition, when we drop a perpendicular to the x-axis, we are going to get entropy at a gaseous phase. So we have SF value, SG value. Now suppose if the system is lying within the dome, then the dryness fraction is existing. Similarly, if we want to know what is the corresponding specific volume for the given state of the system, then if the system is lying within the dome, then one can use the following equations. So we have a relation here, specific volume if it is within the dome when the dryness fraction is given to us, then we have specific volume is equal to VF, that is specific volume at saturated liquid point, plus the dryness fraction multiplied by specific volume corresponding to Fg. This is a latent heat of vaporization. So VFG is written, it can also be expressed as Vg minus Vf. Please remember that VFG can also be written as Vg minus Vf. Corresponding the entropy equations also will be on similar basis. S is equal to SF plus X into SFG. So entropy is equal to SF plus X into SFG. So one can pick up the values from the data table, and by knowing the dryness fraction, one can calculate the specific volume which is existing within the saturation dome. Similarly, by knowing the SF value and SFG value from the data tables and knowing the dryness fraction, one can find out entropy value. Let us now move ahead and see what are the different contents in that data table. So this is the thermodynamic data tables which we are referring for our course by BT Nijaguna B and BS Samaga. This is as per our university recommendation. So this is a steam table which we are following for the present course. Now whatever the data that I am explaining is pertaining to this book, data book. So we see the contents. In the contents we can make out that we have a steam here, and table number A1 corresponds to saturated water on pressure basis. Similarly, A2 corresponds to properties with reference to temperature basis. Similarly, A3 corresponds to superheated steam data, and then table number A4 corresponds to compressed liquid data. So by referring to these page numbers, depending upon the given data, one can refer the following tables. So we see that the steam taking as a working fluid steam, then we have the saturated liquid data based upon the pressure entry method, saturated water data based upon temperature basis. And for superheated, if the given state is lying in the superheated region, one has to refer to the superheated tables. And if the given system is lying in the compressed liquid region, then one has to refer to the compressed liquid data. Likewise, we have other working fluids also here, and these are B series pertaining to the refrigerants. We have ammonia, freons, and so on. So one can refer to this depending upon the working fluid. Likewise, we also have some specialized charts in this data table. So we have Mollier diagram, HS diagram, and then we also have a compressibility chart. So we also have psychometry charts. So when we are studying about the psychometry processes or air conditioning process, one can refer to these charts. Moving further, let us now look at table number A1. In the table number A1, we can see the first column is pertaining to the pressure. So this is called as a pressure entry table pertaining to steam. So it is given to us that it is steam, working fluid is steam. So this is a saturated data, liquid data. So we have pressure in the first column. Second column we have saturation temperature in degrees Celsius. In the third column we have specific volume at the saturated liquid point given in terms of meter cube per kg, followed by specific volume at the gaseous point, that is a dry saturated condition, in terms of meter cube per kg. So this is the column for that. Similarly, we have enthalpy at saturated liquid point, kilojoule per kg basis, and HFG is the latent heat of vaporization. If the system is lying within the dome, then one has to refer to this. And we have saturated, dry saturated enthalpy value given as Hg in kilojoule per kg. And recall that HFG can also be represented as Hg minus Hf. So when we subtract the Hg value with Hf value, then we get HFG value. So that way also one can find out HFG value if it is not given, HFG is not given straightforward. Now moving on to the further properties, we have entropy here. Entropy at saturated liquid point given in terms of kilojoule per kg Kelvin, and then we have entropy with reference to latent heat of vaporization, kilojoule per kg Kelvin, and then we have entropy with reference to gaseous point, that is a dry saturated condition. Then we have here Sg in terms of kilojoule per kg Kelvin. So these are the following the datas which are available in the table number A1. So since pressure is listed in the first column, we call this as a pressure entry tables or pressure basis. Likewise, if we move further, picking up table number A2, this is also corresponds to steam, but this is on the temperature method or temperature basis, because in the first column you can see instead of pressure we have now temperature. So this is the temperature, therefore the next column will be saturation pressure. This will be the saturation pressure. For the following temperature, the next column signifies the saturation pressure. Likewise, we have specific volumes pertaining to saturated liquid point, pertaining to dry saturated condition, and then we have enthalpy at saturated liquid point, then at dry saturated condition Hg value, and Hg minus Hf will give us Hfg values, and those are listed here if they are not available straightforward. And then we have the entropies with reference to saturated liquid point, enthalpies with reference to dry saturated conditions. Sg minus Hf gives us Hfg. Entropy with reference to latent heat of vaporization. So this is about the temperature entry method or temperature basis pertaining to steam. Now moving, if the given system is lying in the superheated region, that is when the given temperature is greater than the saturation temperature as per the guidelines, then one has to refer to the superheated steam tables, that is table number A3. So depending upon that guideline what we have seen earlier, and based upon the given data in the problem, one has to find out which is the right table to refer. So in the superheated vapor region, we see the arrangement is slightly different from that of previous. We can see that in the first column we have pressure, that is 0.02 bar, it is in terms of bar, and whatever is seen here within the bracket, so this is the saturation temperature. It is given to us saturation temperature in terms of degree Celsius. And then we have here the temperatures given to us in degree Celsius, 50 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Celsius, 150, and so on up to 800 degrees Celsius. Then moving further, we can see here a specific volume given to us. This entire row corresponds to specific volumes for the given temperatures listed above. So for 300 degrees Celsius, for example, this specific volume at the corresponding pressure and temperature will be 132.251 meter cube per kg. So specific volume is in terms of meter cube per kg. Similarly, we have here enthalpy, and the entire row corresponds to the enthalpy values for the corresponding pressures listed here. So for example, for 200 degrees Celsius, the enthalpy at 0.02 bar will be 2880 kilojoule per kg. So it is in terms of kilojoule per kg basis. Likewise, for entropy also, the entire row corresponds to the entropy values for the given temperatures listed above. For example, for 50 degrees Celsius, the entropy will be, for the 0.02 bar, it will be 8.9266 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. So this is how we try to understand the data being given in the data table and pick up the right value depending upon the pressure or the temperatures that are given to us in the problem. Now moving further, we will look at the next type of table, that is A4 table. When a given temperature is less than the saturation temperature according to the guideline, then the particular state of the system is compressed liquid data or subcooled liquid region. So if it is, judgment is made based upon the pressure. If the given pressure is above the saturation pressure, then that is compressed liquid data or compressed liquid region in fact. So for that, one has to refer to this, the following table. So here we see again this entire 4 columns of data pertaining to 50 bar, and the corresponding saturation temperature for 50 bar is given to us 263.92 degrees Celsius. Likewise, the next pressure after 50, we have next one as 100 bar and the corresponding saturation temperature, 150 bar and the corresponding saturation temperature for 150 bar is given to us. So we have specific volume column here, we have internal energy column, we have enthalpy values, we have entropy values, likewise for others. So knowing the particular pressure or the temperature, one can find out either the specific volume or internal energy or the enthalpy value or the entropy values from this data table. So this is about the steam, where we have seen pressure basis steam, saturated liquid data, and then we have seen temperature entry basis saturated liquid steam data, then superheated data, and then the compressed liquid data tables. We have seen all this A1, A2, A3 and A4. Now let us look at the problems in the next class. We are going to take up problems and see how can we refer to the tables and find out the unknown terms, and then finally one can find out the thermal efficiency of the plant and other performance parameters. With this, we have come to the end of today's lecture. Thank you for your attention.